How are we doing? It's C Trades from C Investments. I'm going to be breaking down my watch list as well as my game plan for this week. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right. I want to start off talking about news. And news this week is very important because we have so many reports that are going to explain where our situation is with inflation and how the feds are going to move forward on this, right? My most important report that I'm going to want to look at is going to be Friday, and that's going to be consumer sentiment because I want to know what consumers are doing, especially with how much fear there is in the market. That doesn't mean I'm ignoring all these other reports, but that one to me I think is going to be the most important one this week. We're going to have that on Friday at 10 a.m. Prior to that, on Tuesday, we're going to have jobs openings, right? JOLTS at 10 a.m. So I would not be trading before that. And then at 8:30 on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to have core CPI and core PPI as well as unemployment claims. So I will be keeping an eye out on how market reacts in pre-market. And from there, I'll base a plan on how I'm going to attack that day, right? As you know, I like to swing trade, so I'm most likely not going to try to place a bunch of day trades or any day trades, to be honest, depending how the market moves. Now, let's talk about the S&P 500 because I know a lot of you guys trade futures, and then I'll go forward with my game plan. I don't like to trade the SPY. I don't see the need to trade the SPY, especially when you have a million options with stocks, right? You have Netflix, Apple, Tesla. So I just don't see the risk in that. I know there's a lot of future traders that love to trade the SPY, NQ. So I always like to give an analysis just to give my point of view of where we are at. As we can see on the daily time frame, we've hit a very critical low, right? So we want to see buyers step in to kind of show us that buyers are still in it, and this isn't going to be a complete, bear market, crazy drop. I don't want to curse, but I guess you could kind of guess where I was going there. Uh, we saw buyers step in on the close on Friday, right? If we are going to react higher, we want to see this price action continue. And how could I be aware that it's going to continue? Well, we're going to want to see trend get established, meaning we've broken highs. We're going to want to respect these lows and continue to make higher highs and higher lows. If that happens, I'll start targeting liquidity highs. Liquidity highs will be at 584.96 and 596.94, right? Just these liquid highs or swing highs that are sitting right there. That's most likely where buyers are going to want to take the price and where sellers are going to aim for to short it right back down. So that's my game plan with SPY. I don't touch SPY, but that's what I would aim for if we're getting ready to push up. What that would look like would be we reverse down here, retest this empty space, make sure that buyers respect it, come right back up and break structure, right? So we sell down, come right back up, break structure, right? And then target these liquid highs, right? This one specifically, I'll keep an eye out just because of previous points, right? You reacted strong. If we come back out here, that's your third time tapping it. We're either going to break right back through, back up above 600, or we're going to sell right back down. If you zoom out on a 4-hour time frame, when you're looking here at SPY, you could see that that's pretty much a prominent high, right? The reason I say that is because you have a level of consolidation sitting there. It's a pretty good guess that sellers are going to push us straight back down once we arrive here. If we don't arrive here, my other target is going to be right here, right? 584.96. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. Do I think we're going to have a bullish week? With all the news, I think that yes, we could see a bounce, but I think that bounce is going to happen rapidly. So maybe Monday and Tuesday, we're going to go up 5-10%, not on the SPY, on other stocks. On the SPY, we might go up 1-2% between Monday and Tuesday, right? So you might have that retracement up here. I mean, that's 3%. So maybe you have a 3% move right up there. But Wednesday and right as we get to consumer sentiment on Friday, I think we're going to see sellers step right back in. So I will be targeting shorts and following trend. The only stocks that I would be looking at a bullish turnout are going to be stocks that are at very critical lows, kind of like the SPY, right? This is a critical low for SPY that will show potential to create higher highs and respect previous lows to send us right back up. I don't think that's the case. I think we're falling in a bear market, and I've been explaining to my Discord for a while now why I think that. It's free. Join it. I talk about bear markets there all the time because I love to short. I'm a big bear, so I will have an eye on that. All right, now let's get away from SPY and look at my game plan. This week, I'm specifically going to be focusing on crypto and not actual cryptocurrencies, but crypto stocks. If you want to understand my point of view on it, I would read this article. I really liked it. It's called The Fool's Gold of a Crypto Reserve. It's posted on Wall Street Journals. It's amazing. It talks pretty much about how this whole fantasy of a reserve being held by crypto is no good and it's most likely not going to happen. It's a very biased opinion, but I do like the perspective and the examples they use. So I would read it. I think it's a great article. Starting with that, we saw that crypto liquidated. I just got a notification. I think in the past day, it liquidated $250 million, right? And it had a 20%. We'll go to Bitcoin to show that. It had a 20% drop right back under 80K, or it retested 80K. Yeah, it went under it to 79.994. Obviously, not by a lot, but it still went under 80K. And from all-time highs, I'm pretty sure it was a 20% drop. Let's measure that together just so I could be right. Yeah, almost a 28% drop, right? And where it just tested again was a 26% drop. To confirm a bear market, right, or bear structure, you want to see a 20% move down. And we're seeing that on Bitcoin, right? What do we know about crypto? And what do we know about Bitcoin? When it sells hard and it sells fast. So I will be looking to short all these companies that hold it. MSTR, Coinbase, anything surrounded around crypto, I think is going to have the same exact reaction. Last time crypto sold off, let's go on the daily time frame. You could see how hard of a sell-off it had, right? It sold off almost, I think it was like an 80% drop, 78% drop, right? So if history is going to repeat itself, you still have all this to catch down to 21,000. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not going to fall all the way down there. I think it's probably going to fall more around here, right? To 60,000. But that's still a drop of about another 30% drop, right? It still has space to go down a lot. Meaning I'm going to target these companies that are holding it so I could follow that same exact reaction when it falls in play in MSTR and Coinbase. Let's look at MSTR because it's been my favorite company to short lately, right? We have our bear structure. We have hype, which anyone in my Discord knows I love to short hype. Anything that has a hype run, I will be the first one to short it because it makes no sense. There's no reason the market should be going up because it feels like it, right? No. This went up because hype started that MSTR was buying Bitcoin and we were entering this Bitcoin bull run and these meme coin bull runs, and everyone was obsessed about cryptocurrencies, right? I hope your bag holder sold, because if you didn't sell, you're sitting on a pretty big loss, right? It's 55%. I think when you look at a company, you have to look at it on a non-biased point of view and see what it plans to do in the future, what its funding is, how it's going to use its money, and what plans it has going forward. I don't think a company should be analyzed based on the fact that if it holds crypto or if it doesn't, right? If you like crypto that much, go buy the actual currency. Go buy Bitcoin, buy partial shares in it, go buy Solana, go buy Doge, whatever you want to buy, but go buy the actual thing. There's no reason you should buy into a company that holds crypto, right? Not at all. I don't like it. Never like the hype. It's completely selling down, right? What can I see? I can see that we have areas of consolidation, right? That it's struggled to break above and it's retesting and sellers pushed us right back down. So I'm going to be targeting 234.53 as well as all the way down to 200s. That's my game plan shorting MSTR this week. I think we're going to open already selling off. I think the market's going to open with MSTR. I think last time I checked Webull, it was down like 5% in after hours. So, I mean, in overnight trading. So I will have an eye on how it reacts. Let's say that is the case. And let's measure 5%. It opens somewhere around here, right? My game plan's very simple. I'm going to want to wait for buyers to fill in that space. And if we get rejection and we could see structure being formed, right? What's the structure I like to see? Lower lows and lower highs. Then I'll enter a position and I'll short it down all the way to 241 would probably be my first take profit. And under that would be 200. What would contracts look like? Most likely 2 weeks out. I don't want heavy risk when it comes to this. I'm going to be trading out of the money because I want to catch this big move. My strike price would probably be 225, 250. I like more. It all depends on the price on contracts, right? It depends how the market opens tomorrow. But I would want to see some type of structure get created. And if we open with a gap, that gap get filled first before we sell off. If that's the case, I would catch it and I would short MSTR. I like shorting these companies. They're based on hype and not fundamentals. So I'll take profits from that. Same thing with Coinbase. There's no reason why Coinbase should be, holding up too high when crypto's selling off, right? Coinbase is a little bit more different because it's just a platform that you use to trade cryptocurrencies, right? But if you're in a bear market, you're going to have less investors. People are going to sell. They're going to want to walk away. So you could see a big drop in Coinbase. And I think it reacts kind of the same way that MSRT does, right? You get this hype run, then you get sellers to sell you down, and it's going to continue. So my targets are going to be 146, and under that, I'm going to be aiming for 120 a share. What would my trade look like? Same thing. If we open, I want to see his first break under 195, have some strong reaction off it, come in and retest it and push us further down to 146.66. There's consolidation here, so I'm expected buyers to react. And that's once we react here is where I'm going to be aiming to see rejection off this break of structure to push us down to 146. So what would my game plan look like? I'd want to see us, let's say we open with a gap, fill that gap, break structure here, continue low here, see buyers come in, and I want to see reaction off this, right? Off that wick low. Once we see reaction, I would enter my position. I want to see structure get created, and I would target it straight down to 146.66. Under that to 120. Same thing as MSTR. 2 weeks out, depending how contracts are, I would look from out of the money strike price, and I would aim for these levels, right? Or these price points. That's my plan this week. I think this week is going to be big in sense of crypto. I think that we could see between these 2 weeks, a big drop in crypto. If you're holding crypto, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you make money out of it. But from what I'm seeing, I think that we're just going to continue that drop, and we're falling into a bear market. The word recession is going everywhere right now, right? You're seeing news talk about it. You're seeing, you saw that Trump had to bring out his top financial guy and explain that, we're not looking to fall into a recession, but his answers weren't solid, right? He had doubts. He said, I don't think that's a possibility. Doesn't seem like that's the way we're going. That doesn't give me reassurance. If I'm an investor, I want you to look at me in the face and say, hey, there's no shot we're falling into a recession. This is our game plan. This is how we're going to fight inflation. And this is how we're going to act moving forward. If you come to me and you tell me, listen, man, don't think it could happen. But if it does, I don't like that, right? So it just caused more fear in the market. I didn't like that combo, so we'll see how the market reacts, right? I'm one person, and I have to be unbiased. I'm not here to predict. I'm here to wait for reaction. And once the market reacts, I take advantage of it, and I make money, right? We could see the VIX is starting to come up. What is the VIX? For you guys that don't know, it measures volatility, and volatility spikes when there's fear in the market, right? I would want to see if the VIX breaks $28. That's huge, right? Because there would be a lot more fear than last time. And if it gets all the way up to 65, those are some pretty big signs of bear markets coming, right? I'm going to keep an eye out on that for sure. Those are the stocks I'm planning on shorting this week. It's going to be MSTR and Coinbase. Now, there are stocks that I like where they're sitting at to see a possible move in buyers. This is now where the day trades would come in, or where the quick swing trades would come in that I'd plan to sell next day or later on in the day, right? Guess you can't really call it a swing trade if you're planning on selling the same day, but you get what I'm saying. For those stocks, I'm going to be looking at, where is it? Not Microsoft. I think Microsoft's going to fall further down. Meta was one of them, right? I don't know why it's not on there, but I really like the way that Meta reacted from back into this consolidation phase, right? We saw buyers pretty much close us back green on Friday. We barely closed red, 0.36. If that's the case, you can look at your 4-hour time frame and see how much empty space there is to the upside and how price is getting ready to run, right? I think there's going to be a bounce this week. What would I target? I would target these highs, right? 659.22. And I would want to see us take this space and fill it. And that's going to be between this candle and this candle. We already tested it and price went further down, right? But we saw reaction of buyers coming right back in. So I will have an eye on that. On the 1 hour, it's a little bit more clear that you could see a real spike in buyers. And I like that spike. I like the way we reacted. I think that we could fill the space here. My biggest trade, though, is going to be shorting this right back down to $600 a share. 100%. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. Past that, another stock that I liked the way we sat at, I think, was AVGO to the upside. Yep. We saw AVGO came down after a big sell-off, retested its previous all-time highs. What I mean by that is the last time in the market where price was holding, right? And it struggled to break above 185 a share, tried 4 times. The 4th time, it completely blew of it, right? So you're going to want to see buyers come here. You could see that buyers came, they retested, tried to sell further down. Buyers stepped in, broke structure. So now we have targets to the upside. When a stock falls rapidly like this, it leaves a lot of empty space. And that empty space is something that you could target for buyers to come right back in, right? So I will be eyeing how we react and where we can go from here. I'm aiming to short. We're in a bear market. But if I see opportunity to catch a trade to the upside, I will take it. 1, my position is going to have less position size because I'm fighting against trend. And 2, the risk is going to be very tight, meaning my stop losses are going to be tighter and I'm not going to be looking to hold this for a long period of time. That's kind of what I have for this week so far. Nothing looks like a great, amazing setup. Nothing is screaming my name. I like Tesla too. Forgot to talk about that one. Tesla came right back down and retested some previous highs. I want to see how we react off here. I would want to take it down to the downside to 220, but I would want to see some of these lows get broken first and target this empty space here. That trade's still building. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think it'll happen next week. But this is another one that if buyers come in, you could see, especially on Tesla, you could see a 10, 20% move to the upside. So I will keep an eye on this. We saw SpaceX this weekend. The rocket ship did not go as planned. It blew up or it exploded. Something happened to it. Not positive news. So I will keep an eye on that. I want to see how we open tomorrow and how we react from that. Yeah, that's my game plan this week. I am being very, I wouldn't say conservative, but I am waiting for the setups to form better. I only want to take A+ setups. I don't want to force something. Right now, I can't tell you that the hype is still on crypto. So all these stocks like MSTR and Coinbase are going to get shorted by me, especially MSTR. All these other companies, I'm waiting to see what happens, right? We're at critical lows. This week is an important week. If we break under these critical lows, the market could go a lot further down and ring the bells. We're most likely going to fall into a recession and into a bear market. If we see buyers really step in this week, we're going to see, okay, maybe we're holding off. We're not ready to call it a recession. We're not ready to call it a bear market, and the market could consolidate. I think I saw it on Wall Street Journal as well, that a lot of analysts are saying the market is going to be roller coaster for the next 4 years. If you don't know what that means, it just means up and down, right? Consolidating. We're not necessarily going to be in a bull run or in a bear market. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the bear market is very clear, but I think what's going to come from it is we're going to have weeks where we fall 10, 20%, and we're going to have weeks where we come back up 5, 10%, right? It's going to be rapid. It's going to be fast. Volatility is going to be there. If you're a trader and you trade options, that's amazing for you. So take advantage of it. Just do it right. Measure your risk, and don't risk what you can't lose. It's that simple. That's my watch list for this week. That's what I'm looking at. Nothing too exciting, but there is some setups there, especially with MSTR. I don't think I've said it enough. MSTR is my eyes this week to see how it reacts off these market conditions. I will be posting everything in my Discord. We obviously have a paid server where I trade live every day, but we have a free server where I update pre and post market conditions and where I think the market could go and where it could react. I also post some tips that I see throughout the day in our free chat. So link's going to be below. Make sure to join that. You don't hurt joining a free server. And hey, maybe you can catch one of these trades with us, especially MSTR. So keep an eye on that for this week. And if you're holding crypto, I don't know how you sleep at night, man. With that being said, I hope you guys have a good week. I'll catch you next Sunday to give another market recap for my watch list. And yeah, C Trades is out. Peace.